Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here with my graphic designer, Morgan, and we are here to talk about a new exciting product launch that we have. So, Morgan, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and tell them about like how we've worked together in the past?
Yeah, so my name is Morgan and I run Studio Antheia and we are a branding design studio. And fun fact, Dawn was one of like my first like full clients back when I first started and my business was kind of like, yeah, just getting started. And she trusted me with her brand and that is kind of like when everything started for me. And so we've been working together off and on for a couple of years now. And yeah, I'm just really excited about what we are making now.
Yeah, me too. So basically to give a little overview, Morgan and I have seen, and you are formerly a photographer, so you like
Yep.
know both industries. But we've just seen this like gap in the industry of this resource of having a template as well as education combined to create client guides. And that's something that we find really important for our clients. And we've seen like both education on what to include in guides as well as like templates in order to create your own, but not the combination of the two. So we have teamed up to have educational courses on what to include in client guides and then easy to use templates in multiple platforms in order to edit them and make them your own. So just to kind of go through the difference of what is included in these guides, there is a pricing and services guide, which is a gosh, how many pages are in that? Like
Oh, like
15? I don't know.
I don't
It's an
remember.
extensive guide that has not just pricing pages, but introductory pages, cover pages, pages for client reviews, FAQs, pages explaining couple sessions, and like all sorts of stuff. So there's that one. And then there is the Couples Handbook, which is basically an engagement session or couple session prep guide. So it's what you would send to your clients before their session in order to help them pick location and time for their session and help them decide what to wear and what to bring and how to come into it with the proper mindset and to kind of inform them on the way that you shoot and your philosophy and how you work with them and to kind of just like ease their nerves about the whole thing. And then finally, there's the Wedding Handbook, which is a handbook that you send out before their wedding, kind of early in the planning process, that helps them get the most out of their photos. So this is something that I've been sending for as long as I can remember, and it has been the most helpful thing because it helps my clients get on the same page as me. And now I show up and clients have like everything ready to go for me, which has been so helpful. So it includes how to choose a getting ready spot and things to keep in mind at their getting ready spot, like keeping the area clean and having natural light, when to start hair and makeup, and how to organize your timeline, and reasons for having a first look or not having a first look, and like literally everything you can think of from the beginning of the day until the reception. So those are the three guides that are available. They can come in a bundle or on their own. And then with those guides come videos from me explaining more in depth what I include in my guides and why, and then videos from Morgan explaining how to edit them. So, can you explain exactly what comes in your purchase when you get your download? Like, what is everything that's included with their purchase?
Yeah, so it's really cool. So when you purchase one, you can, again, like Dawn said, you can purchase them on their own or you can purchase them as a bundle. But as you purchase each one, you will get a folder and it will have a Canva version of the file. It will have an InDesign version of the file, and you can kind of choose which one is best for you. We can kind of talk about that more in a second. But then you're going to get a PDF that is kind of instructions on how to edit it, and it's really straightforward and really easy. Anyone can do it. And then also something that is really cool is that we are including style kits with the purchase. So if you don't have branding, or if you're in the beginning stages of your business, or you just don't have like your brand identity set, we give 5 little personas that have different type families and color palettes and kind of different vibes so that you can kind of choose which is best for you. And all of the fonts that we chose are free within Canva. So you're not going to have to purchase anything besides the templates. And it's going to be just really easy to edit and really straightforward. And then like Dawn said, you're also going to get a video of education from her, as well as a look at me kind of editing the templates so that you know exactly how to edit them and how to customize them to make them truly unique to you and really special for your own brand. So
Sweet. Yeah, it's so cool. I love the style kits you made. I feel like it's so helpful for people that haven't had a chance to pay a graphic designer to do all their branding for them, or they're wanting to change things up or just get inspiration for like new color palettes or new font families. I think those are such a cool feature that's included.
yeah, and
Um,
that's
Go
I
ahead.
think that's something that's so cool about these is that so I'm a designer and I've worked with a ton of different photographers, and that's a pain point I've seen over and over again is that photographers will often reach out to me and want me to design their welcome guide or their wedding guide or whatever the case may be, and from a design standpoint, a guide like that that's like full of all this content, and especially when you're having like a welcome guide and a wedding guide and a couples guide, that's a lot of work on our end. And so a lot of times, the people that come to us for those types of things, they just don't have the budget for it, which is totally understandable. So what ends up happening is they either kind of make it themselves and it doesn't look the best, or they walk away really discouraged because they can't kind of afford that right now. And so this is a really like happy medium where you're still going to have a template that looks really good and looks really professional, but you're not going to be paying a designer thousands of dollars for the complete custom thing. But we do include tips on how to make it really custom and how to make it really you. So again, it's just kind of like the best of both worlds, and I think it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that they're all like such a good, like neutral blank slate, and that they are all cohesive with each other. So like your clients are probably going to be getting all three of these guides throughout their process with you. And so they all are consistent and not just like in the past before I had these, my guides were kind of like, I made this one back in 2005 and this one back in like 2012. And so they weren't all cohesive. So I like that all three of these guides are like, they flow very well with like your client
Yeah.
process.
And so like the layouts aren't exactly the same in each one, but they are very similar. So again, like Dawn said, they're super cohesive. And it's just like a full experience for your clients, which is super important because a lot of times, especially when you're sending the welcome guide or the services guide, this is, their first impression of you. And it could be the reason they pick you over someone else is because you have a beautiful and helpful guide that is really serving as an awesome first impression. So I think you're going to be a game changer for a lot of photographers. So.
For sure. And to kind of touch on like the importance of client experience, I've just, like I mentioned before, noticed a huge difference just getting my clients on the same page as me. It makes my job so much easier. And I show up and they're just on the same page and have less questions and have everything picked out for me and like the perfect lighting and everything. It's just like so refreshing to show up to a wedding and not be scrambling to figure all that out. But also it helps them feel taken care of, and it helps them feel informed and less stressed, and they feel like they are getting way more than they paid for with you. Like they're not just getting you to show up with a camera the day of their wedding. They're having like a full experience, and you're helping in the planning process and you're educating them and just like helping them feel seen and taken care of. And so I feel like these guides are just a huge part of my client experience, and just like a huge impact that you can make on your client with such a small thing. So I think that it will like more than pay for itself with like how much you will appear to be going above and beyond for your clients.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at client experience like it's for your clients, and obviously it is, and you really want to serve your clients well and really kind of like over deliver for them. But client experience is just as much as a benefit to you as it is to them. And so when you're really preparing your client, it's going to make your job easier because they're not going to be coming to you asking, a bunch of questions because you've already provided it for them, or also just from like a photography standpoint, if you are providing them information about what makes good lighting and how to shoot family photos well and all of this stuff, it just makes your job so much easier, and your work is going to be 10 times better if you were relaxed, and if they have their lighting situation set up well and all of that type of stuff. It's going to be really beneficial for you just as much as it is for them. So
Yeah, totally. And then before we dive into the design, I know we're going to get this question. Is it just for photographers, and is it just geared towards weddings? And I'll kind of let you touch on that, but I will say that even when I was customizing my template that you had given to me, I could just see how it would have been really easy to swap out. Like, there's a section that says couple sessions, and you could easily make that say family sessions or maternity sessions. But then also, for the pricing guide and stuff like that, I was talking to you before this about how easily like a florist or
Mhm.
even like a graphic designer or a wedding planner or something like that could customize things to make it their own, because it really is so easy to customize.
Yeah. Um, Especially with Canva, they are just like super, super easy to customize. Anyone could do it. You don't need any design experience or any design knowledge to customize. So I think that they could be really beneficial to really anyone, especially like in the wedding industry, as long as you go into it knowing that, this does have like wedding placeholders and stuff like that, but they are super easy to change out. And the layouts and stuff are super versatile. So if you were, like Dawn said, a florist or someone in the wedding industry or any type of really service provider, I think these would work really well for you, especially the services and pricing templates. So
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, the couples handbook and wedding handbook would probably work fine as a template, but the education that comes along with it is definitely catered towards
wedding
shooting
photographers, yeah,
couple sessions or just any portrait session and then weddings. So yeah.
yeah.
So can you kind of explain why you think Canva is so great from a design perspective, and why Canva over InDesign, or why InDesign might be a good option for some people?
Mhm. So we are going to include both Canva and InDesign templates within the purchase. So um, I recommend Canva if you do not have design experience. So if you're someone who already has the Adobe suite on your computer and you feel really confident with InDesign and want to take that route, then by all means do that. But I know a problem that I see over and over again with photographers is that they will purchase an InDesign template and then they will either be frustrated because they have to pay the monthly fee to keep up that Adobe subscription, or they will just download the trial and then when the trial is up, they won't be able to go back and re-edit things. Or they'll come to me and say, like, I have 57 missing links. Do you know why? Or I don't know why my pictures are not showing up like I edited them. There just tends to be a lot of kind of confusion with InDesign, and that totally makes sense because most photographers are not designers. And so what I love about Canva is when I first started using Canva, I was a little bit skeptical because I am a designer and, InDesign is the proper way to do things. But
Yeah.
I had a client, ask me if I could make her some Canva templates. And so I was like, okay, I will. And then I just saw how awesome it was for people that don't have a design experience and how straightforward it was, how easy to edit it is, how easy it is to export and upload photos and make sure they're in the right spot. And it's just so easy that I I now use it for my clients. So when I hand off, obviously I create all their stuff in the Adobe suite, but if there's anything that needs to be constantly edited, I will use Canva for them just because it is such an easy um, platform to use for people who aren't a designer, and it just makes it so that there's not a lot of mistakes and not a lot of confusion. And then another thing that I love about Canva is there is a free version. And so the fonts and everything that we use in our template they're completely free fonts. You don't have to subscribe to Canva or anything like that. If you are someone who already has a brand and you want to use custom fonts, there is an option to subscribe to that. However, Canva has a ton of like really awesome fonts already that are totally free. So you don't have to have a subscription to edit anything. And then the last thing I'll say about Canva that I love about Canva is that um, you can really add a lot of custom elements to your designs to make them truly unique. So we have included, like I mentioned before, a style kit with your purchase. And so I think we're going to show you in a second, but you can see kind of how you can kind of add like stickers and illustrations and things to make these really unique to you. Um, and, even though that you have a beautifully designed template from us, you can kind of go that extra step forward and make sure that they are really special and unique to your brand and, add in some things with Canva. And there's a lot of free options there. So I love Canva for my clients, and I think that you're going to love it too. So.
Yeah. As a client of yours who has been introduced to Canva because of you, it's so easy to use. And like, I don't have design experience, and it's just been like, now I've fallen in love with it and been making all of my like Instagram story templates on there and any like PDFs I need. And it's so helpful.
It's so easy. And then just for, obviously you can edit our templates in Canva really easily, but even down the road, like you can use Canva for so many different things. And I think that once you kind of like dip your foot in it with our templates, you're going to just be so impressed and just love Canva. So it's a
Totally.
really great option for people who are not designers.
Yeah, for sure. Can you also talk about the importance of having a well-designed presentation for your clients? Because I know, like, back in the day, I used to just send like a Word doc PDF or whatever that was just a list of prices. And over the years, I've learned how important it is to have something well-designed for clients. So can you kind of go into that a little bit?
Yeah. So a lot of times, like I said before, this is like the first impression that your potential clients are going to get of you. And so if they are getting something that is in a Google Doc and kind of like hard to read and not, there's no like hierarchy or anything like that, it's just not the best first impression. And if this person inquired to 5 different people, one of them like really wowed you with their beautiful welcome guide, with their beautiful images and really thoughtfully laid out and easy to read and understand, who do you think they're going to go with? And it's most of the time it's going to be the person with a beautifully designed template. And I just think it sets the tone so well for serving your clients well, if that makes sense. And so, like I said, it's the best first impression, the best way to kind of over deliver for your clients and make them feel kind of seen, heard, and loved throughout your entire process, which is obviously super important. And I think also just you don't have to have I think a lot of people think that you have to have like a really established, beautiful brand before you do stuff like this. But in my experience with working with photographers, is I almost think it's best in the beginning not to have that because you're still figuring out who you are. So utilizing templates like this and resources that are already designed for you are a beautiful way to kind of figure out who you are in the space and figure out um, what you enjoy and what you like to shoot and all that type of stuff. And these templates can grow with you. And so as you do invest in branding down the road, or as your brand evolves, you can easily change these and edit them really easily. So
Yeah, and something I've loved is I used to use InDesign to edit pricing guides and stuff, but I would always like lose the original file, or I would have missing links like you said. And if I wanted to swap out images or update the fonts or colors or whatever, it would just be such a tedious task.
yeah,
And to like export with the proper settings and all these things. But with Canva, you can so easily just drag and drop. Like if I had a new session that I loved that I wanted to incorporate in my pricing guide, like it would take a couple minutes to just drag my favorite images from that session into the like gallery of images there, and then just drag them into the template. And I love how easy it is too to like have that gallery of images and then just play around with them and see which ones work best. It's so helpful. So can you take us into Canva and kind of show us
yeah.
um, what exactly is included and what we can like make these into?
All right. So here is just the template without anything. So you see image placeholders. This is the pricing and service guide template. Um, and this is just how it will come. And there are 5 different cover page options. So that's another thing that's kind of special about these is that you can kind of pick whatever cover option feels like you and your brand. But this is how easy it is to upload photos. So you just go over here to the left-hand side and you can upload your images. You see all the images I already have in here. But then you can just do something like this and drag and drop. And then you can just kind of go in here and kind of resize it however you'd like to, kind of fit whatever's best. Obviously, this is kind of blocking out her face. So maybe a different image would be better. But for example, just dragging and dropping that in here. And this is how easy it is to edit this, is just kind of backspacing and typing your words. So super, super straightforward. And this is just kind of a peek at what some of the layouts look like. We have prompts set for you so that you can kind of edit them and you know what to put where. But again, just super, super easy and straightforward. And it's just really a matter of dragging and dropping. And I think Dawn made a really good point a moment ago about InDesign and you know, having it just kind of feels like a whole thing to kind of open InDesign and make things, where this is just you kind of log into Canva real quick and you can do things so much quicker. It's not going to make your computer be all slow and all that type of stuff. So um, it's just really awesome. And then I'll just give you a peek into what they can look like with stuff, all the pictures and kind of content. And then this is actually Dawn's guide that she customized with her branding. Um, and so you can just see how easy it is to change different elements. So for example, if you used greens in yours, you could, that's how easy it is to change everything. Um, and like I said, we're including tutorials on how exactly to change things and um, how to make them truly unique to you. So yeah, it's really just really easy. But this is Dawn's wedding handbook. You can start to see how this looks customized and kind of the stuff that she's including. And then here is her couples handbook and everything that it includes. So the couples handbook, let me just scroll down real quick, is 17 pages. And I think the other ones are about the same. Let's see, the pricing and services guide is 20 pages, but it has the 5 cover pages. And then the handbook or the wedding handbook is 20 pages as well. So they're all about 15 to 20 pages. And so that's kind of a little peek without sharing too much about what they look like on the inside. But our hope is that they're really beautiful and simple, just because that way they are versatile for you. You can kind of add in your own stuff and they really kind of leave room to let your images shine, which I think is also a pain point that I'd see for a lot of photographers, is that, you know, their guides would either be super simple, like almost a Word doc, or they'd almost try to do too much with them and kind of have too much colors, too like all these photos, and just your viewer doesn't really know where to look. So we really wanted to find that balance by having them simple and well designed. And yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about, like, if someone were to hire you to do this on their own for like a custom design, how much that would cost them versus like the price of this guide?
Yeah, so I would say it would cost probably a couple $1,000s, maybe more to do them all. So honestly, probably more than a couple $1,000s, but a few $1,000s to kind of do all the different templates and all the different page layouts. And so, like I said, this is great for, you know, really anyone, but especially people who might not have the budget to hire a designer to do this stuff for them at this point in their business. So
Okay, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I'm so excited for people to get their hands on these, and they are live as of right now. So feel free to head to the link in this video to check them out more. But we can't wait for you guys to use these, and we hope you enjoy them.